Hey everyone, happy Motivational Monday. I hope you're doing well. Again, we're getting some great weather here in Los Angeles. I don't know what it's like where you are, but I hope at least you get some bright sunshine to look out upon. And if you don't, then enjoy the contours of the clouds, the nice crispness of a cool air, whatever it is you can find to appreciate. Find that gratitude for wherever you are, whatever moment you're experiencing, because the alternative is that you could be feeling nothing at all, right? And that brings me to basically the topic today, which is positivity. Just trying to find a way to look on the things that you should be grateful for and appreciating and feeling good about. And there's this sense of the need to be realistic and not be Pollyanna and paint everything with broad, beautiful brushstrokes when they're challenging things that actually are happening. And I say challenging euphemistically, right? It could be downright devastating stuff that's happening to you. But here's why it's important to do that. And I go back to an example of a guy I used to play tennis with when I was back in Trinidad growing up. And I was about 11 years old and playing in tennis leagues. And there's a competition, and he would always come up and I would play against him. And before he even played against me, he'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna beat you so bad, blah blah blah." And just like, but dude, you don't even know well I'm gonna play or not. And I think the first time he actually did win, and then the second time he came back with the same kind of deal, and I beat him. And it wasn't about the victory necessarily. For him, I figured out. I mean, there was this sense of instilling confidence, maybe to boost himself and boost his ability, by instilling the sense of can do. But what I figured out afterward was, here's what was cool about that approach on his part. It wasn't necessarily the cockiness, it was this sense of well-being that he was able to create in himself. You can't be, right, bold and cocky after you've been beaten, right? If it's going to happen, you might as well be chock full of confidence before. And that is akin to this notion of positivity, right? In that we frame up how we move through the world with our decisions and our thoughts. And so even in a challenging, difficult situation, if you're going to look at what's happening with a sulken kind of demeanor or attitude, then you are always in this state of depression, and you never get to celebrate the good. And along with that, you can look at it as, if you're always looking out for the next thing that could happen, that could go wrong, and experiencing these little blips of good feeling and positivity as they occur, as they're justified, quote unquote, you may find that you're spending most of your time in this state of weariness, of watchfulness, of tension, and you don't get to really experience the fullness of all these cool things that could happen, all the cool things that are happening, all the cool things that you will notice if your observation is actually shifted toward the glass being half full. And I've used this expression before, but it's worth repeating. Confucius said that both the man who believes he can and the man who believes he can't are right. And so if you choose positivity, if you choose the brighter outlook versus the darker one, right, you're right. Just as the man who chooses the darker outlook will also be right, because those things have a way of materializing. And if you want to go the route of being more pragmatic too, you can also recognize that even if those things don't materialize, here's what has happened. You have spent the entire duration of time between now and the point when that event happened being down and negative and dragging, when, hey, even if it was delusional, you could have spent that time being positive and appreciating everything wonderful that is around you, and thereby have lived that period in a state of well-being and excitement and just general brightness. So you decide which state is the best one for you to be in. The state where you go about feeling like things are good and therefore you're cheerful no matter what, and then when the negative things come around you still choose to find that which can uplift you, or taking the more pragmatic approach, as you may see it, of anticipating all the things that could go wrong between now and then. You decide. This is Dexter signing off from Los Angeles, wishing you the best now and always. Happy Motivational Monday. Hey, if you like any of the content that I post here, please be sure to click that little like button or the heart, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can also subscribe on my YouTube channel, so like and subscribe me there too.